Shall we pray? Lord, we thank you for this day, all the blessings that you bestow upon us. And Lord, we thank you for this opportunity that we can meet tonight as more town of Fort Gibson. Lord, we pray that you would give us the wisdom and the understanding to carry on the business of the town and benefit each citizen that lives here. Lord, we thank you for the unconditional love, the grace that you show us every day. Most of all, we thank you for your son, Jesus. In his name we pray.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Town of Fort Gibson, Tuesday, May 26, 2026, at 6:01 PM. Roll call, please. I want to finish remarks, comments. This is for people who want something not on the agenda. This is their opportunity for 3 minutes. I've been asked to hold off on that presentation until somebody gets here. We're waiting on somebody, I guess. But see, we're gonna go ahead. Item number 4, items of business for discussion, decision, and/or take action. Item A, discussion, decision, and/or take action regarding items. There were none removed. Item number B, discussion, decision, and/or take action regarding the proposed fiscal year 2027 budget. I apologize.
That's okay. I mean, it's,
I apologize. Okay, back up. We need to back up, put in reverse. I apologize. Item number 2, public hearing of the Town of Fort Gibson's proposed fiscal year 2027 budget. If anybody has a comment about that, you're more than welcome to come up and talk. Thank you, Nicole. I just missed it. Okay, we're going, item number 4, items of business for discussion, decision, or take action. Item A, discussion, decision, take action regarding items removed from the consent agenda. There were none. That's consent agenda.
Yeah, did we approve the
Yeah.
consent agenda?
I don't
No,
know.
you missed that. You need to back
Man,
up
I don't know
again.
where my mind is tonight.
Get that sticky note.
I've
off
only
so you
done
can
this,
see
I
the
don't know
numbers.
how many times. Okay, item number 3, consent agenda.
I'll move to consent agenda as presented.
Second. As we noted for the record, Jerry made the motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Bob seconded that motion. Roll call, please.
Nancy Reinhardt. Bob Boatman.
Aye.
Jerry Harris. Steve Fleckner.
Aye.
Mike Sharp.
Okay. 4, I'm trying this the third time. I hope I haven't stumbled over anything else. Item number 4, items of business for discussion, decision, and/or take action. Item A, discussion, decision, and/or take action regarding items removed from consent agenda. There were none. Item B, discussion, decision, and/or take action regarding the proposed fiscal year 2027 budget. Now, we had a special meeting concerning this, and we asked a bunch of questions then. Does anybody have more questions?
Is this the final approval?
Yes, this is going to
Thank
be
you.
the approval.
Okay, thank you.
Then we need a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve 4B and approve the proposed fiscal year 2027 budget as presented.
I'll second it.
Let it be noted for the record, Stephen made the motion to approve 4B as presented, approving the fiscal year 2027 budget. Nancy seconded that decision, that motion. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Nancy Reinhardt.
Aye.
Bob Boatman.
Aye.
Jerry Harris. Steve Fleckner.
Aye.
Mike Sharp.
Aye. Item number C. discussion, decision, and/or take action, Jonathan Francis agenda request regarding a fundraiser for the Fort Gibson Fire and Police Departments. All right. Jonathan, you need to identify yourself and your address.
All right. My name is Jonathan Francis. I reside at 3007 Gibson Street in Muskogee. I am the store manager of Harps here in Fort Gibson at 1206 South Lee Street. Harps has announced that during the month of June, specifically June 6th through June 28th, all Harp stores across 8 states will be doing a fundraiser for all local police and fire departments. I'd like to just inform the board, and I've already contacted Chief Frazier, I've already contacted Chief Parker as well. On June 6th, we will be hosting an event from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Harps here in Fort Gibson. The police and the fire department are going to be in attendance, where we will start fundraising for Fort Gibson Police and Fire Department. I want to be 100% clear that every penny that we raise at the Harp store here in Fort Gibson will stay in Fort Gibson. So if we raise $5,000, the police department and the fire department will split the $5,000, whatever we raise. Harps has already donated the first $500. 250 of that will go to the police department. The other 250 will go to the fire department. What I have asked Chief Frazier and Chief Parker is that they provide me a picture or a plan of what they are going to use that money for, whether it is to replace equipment, update equipment, whatever they want to do. That way we can advertise to all the customers that come in that this is what that money is going to be geared towards. Like I said, the goal is to raise $5,000 for this store, but the more the merrier. And so I just wanted to inform you all that if you have any questions for me in regards to that.
So this will be where a person shopping at Harps can make a donation?
Yes,
And how do they do that?
Our cashiers will ask every customer that comes through the line if they would like to donate to either the police department or the fire department. We'll have little barcodes that they can scan that will add to their total that they can pay. One other fundraiser that we were doing is we got Coke Love Bottling to donate a $300 cooler. We're going to sell raffle tickets at the store as well as also the event on June 6th. To give away. So that's another source of income for the fundraising.
You're gonna have a little something on social media?
Yes, the Harps will, and then I've already, both the police department and the fire department are going to do some as well. I would like to ask the town to do the same thing if they are able to. Again, stressing the importance that 100% of what we raise in this town will stay in this town. It's not going to get divvied out across the county.
That's fantastic. You know, we discussed this earlier, and I really think that's a great idea. And I just appreciate Harps being willing to step out and participate in this.
I think it's a great thing. Both the police and the fire department has done a lot for Harps and for me, and so this is a great way to show token appreciation to both departments.
Fantastic.
Approve it,
There's
what do
no action needed, is there? No.
So it's just in
No.
general.
This is
Okay,
just
yeah.
informative. Jonathan, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you very
appreciate-
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number D, discussion, decision, and/or take action regarding longevity policy. See that the wording has been changed.
So last meeting, this policy was proposed. It was recommended that we remove holiday. And then on the third paragraph up, remove the segment of time. It was November 1st through the 15th. So that was taken out as well.
I just have one question. Do we need to say, because I read this one, say all regular, it says all active employees, and then down here below it says temporary employees are not eligible. I guess I should ask Mr. Moore. That's fine.
It's clear enough to understand, yeah.
I'm good.
I'll make a motion, we approve 4D as presented unless there's some discussion.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
It'll be noted for the record that Bob made the motion to approve 4D as presented. Stephen seconded that motion. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Nancy Reinhardt.
Aye.
Aye. Item E, discussion, decision, and/or take action regarding fiscal year 2027 FOP contract.
It should be in everyone's packet there, any proposed changes.
I don't have
Is
it
this
yet.
the one
I
you
didn't
I
get
signed?
didn't get it.
Yes.
I don't have it either.
Did.
Oh, everybody's already signed that except the chief of police and the FOP.
We didn't get it.
Did you get it all right?
Not the FOP contract. We got the language, but not the contract.
The language was the contract.
I'm sorry.
The language was the contract.
I mean, just that it was on here.
That's all we.
So,
We didn't get any like information.
so can you update us, I mean, from last year's contract to this year's?
I can give you some overviews. So one of the
It's
things.
probably the same as what, here's place right there, red.
Did you get
Uh-uh.
So the first part they updated is Rob is adding an investigator. And that investigator will be on the same level on the pay scale as a sergeant. However, the investigator will report to the chief of police. So they'll be outside of the normal chain of command. That was the first change that was added. So the second one is in section 8 here in red. We upped their hours not to exceed 240. That's on their carryover vacation hours.
compensation?
Yeah, it says that any,
That's comp hours.
their comp hours will not exceed 240.
Okay.
It was at 80.
Was it what, at 80?
80.
Police officer not working.
No, is it 160? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you added that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see, where's the next one? So there was a stipulation in there that was pretty confusing about, that said any police officer not working a designated or special holiday shall not receive holiday pay. Captains shall earn holiday pay in the same manner as other town employees. We cleaned that up and removed that sentence there.
That's just what you're
That's it,
talking
taking
about.
it down.
Yep, that's a repeat of that.
Good,
There's only,
good.
they're just spread out.
Okay, here we go.
So in the previous part, give me just a sec. Okay. So last year, they received a differential pay for a nighttime differential pay. That was 50 cents an hour. And we took that away as well. We removed that. So there's no longer a nighttime differential pay. I'm working the night shift. And that's a lot of words to say that. Last year, there was also educational bonuses. You can see in the red, there was a cleat certification 250, advanced cleat 500, 1,000 for associates, 2,000 for bachelor's pay. We removed those and we offered and agreed upon 2 bonuses one time. You don't get them every year, but it's one-time bonus of 1,500 if they receive their intermediate complete certification, and also 2,000 for their advanced. It's a pretty substantial thing to receive these two things, but these are a one-time bonus for receiving that certification. That's not something that can be repeated. The last item is we agreed to their pay scale being a 9-year top out instead of, I believe it was 15 or 12 last year. So basically, it's an incentive to try to keep them here because they can top out quicker.
Can we get a copy of this? I personally didn't.
Absolutely.
It may have just been error on the fax. I can get an email to me or something.
Yeah,
Thank you.
easily I can do that.
I'll make a motion, we approve 4E as presented.
Go ahead.
I'll second it.
Let it be noted for the record that Stephen made the motion to approve 4E as presented. Nancy seconded that motion. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Nancy Monkart,
Aye.
Bob Oakland.
Aye.
Gary Harris.
Aye.
Steve Blankenberry.
Aye.
Mike Sharp.
Aye. Item F, discussion, decision, and/or take action regarding the budget amendments as identified in Appendix A.
These are all individual line item increases. We're either there now or will be by the end of the year.
Make a motion, we approve 4F as presented.
I'll second that.
Let it be noted for the record that Stephen made the motion to approve 4F as presented. Bob seconded that motion. Is there any further discussion? None? Roll call, please.
Nancy Reinhardt.
Aye.
Bob Oakland.
Aye.
Gary Harris. Steve Blankenberry.
Aye.
Mike Sharp.
Aye. Item number 5, resolution. Item A, resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Town of Fort Gibson, Oklahoma, establishing a formal policy regarding the use of town vehicles by the Chief of Police, Fire Chief, and Assistant Fire Chief.
This is, you had already done one for Chief Frazier in the past, and there was, Amanda thinks that there may have been another one done that was just never brought in front of the board for the fire chief. So what this does, this kind of cleans up everything. It includes the police chief, the fire chief, and the assistant fire chief. And I had done some research on this, and there was some questions about could somebody be in a vehicle, a town vehicle. I believe Amanda checked with the insurance policy, and that they do cover people in our vehicles if there is a accident, and then the use of the vehicle to have somebody in there. There's I found state statutes and also an attorney general's opinion right on point that that can be used as that for somebody like Chief Frazier, Chief Parker, and Assistant Chief Brady White, because they're all three on duty 24 hours a day. And law says that they are allowed to have use of that vehicle. And so this resolution just brings them all three in on one paper.
I'll make a motion, we approve 5A as presented.
I'll second.
Let it be noted for the record that Bob made the motion to approve 5A as presented. Nancy seconded that motion. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Nancy Reinhardt. Bob Oakland.
Aye.
Gary Harris. Steve Blankenberry.
Aye.
Mike
All right, what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take a temporary break. Mike's got an award he'd like to hand out, or certificate of appreciation. You're gonna be doing presenting. So I'm gonna let Mike come up here and do that right now, and then we'll continue the meeting after he finishes with this presentation.
So the rest of you don't know, this is Miss Mary Lynn Dawson here. She's been doing the dog breeding here for the better part of 3 decades right across the street. Officer Bean, my partner, and I, we met her 2.5, 3 years ago, roughly. We were standing in the store, quick stop every morning, greet everybody that comes in. I'm the one who's happy to greet this dog and so forth. Matter of fact, we had a real rainy day. She come in and said she'd seen alligators floating down her ditch. So from that moment on, we got looking for her on the mornings that she come in for work. So for 10 or 15 minutes at a time for the next 2.5 years, we developed a friendship. A very good one. And she would look for us, and our days off flipped every week. So she'd call, I missed you again. We're like, well, we'll come by the store. So we come by and see if we missed her at the store in the morning. But this past year, Maryland had a health problem. And she had to go up and do some treatment in Tulsa. And we got to go up once a piece. Her and her daughter comes, her daughter always come down to help her, come down from next piece. This is where Miss Maryland's from, she's from a cab that was. We'll tell you something like that. But, we got to go up once a piece, with her to her treatment, see her through that, encourage her. We had work today, she had to go out and ring the bell when she got done. But they FaceTimed it so we could see it live, we're ringing the bell back on. So that's pretty special. And so she retired this past week from the dog running. She went to the better part of 3 decades, 20 years. And she's gonna be moving with the family. Her daughter, they're going back, they're leaving Thursday, go back to Massachusetts. We know she'll be happy there. We'll be sad to see her go, but she'll be up there with the family.
Oh, I'm glad she's retired, but gosh, what a wonderful person. I was getting ready to let her run my dog. I'm serious.
But with that in mind, thank you to the council, and the town administrator, especially the assistant town administrator, helping pull this together at the last few minutes. So I think that's what it's for.
And thank you for waiting for me here.
Yeah, I appreciate you pushing us back more.
Yeah.
We want to present the certificate of recognition to Miss Marilyn Doss in recognition of your many years of service and dedication to our community. Love you.
So how many dogs have you groomed in 28 years? How many dogs have you groomed?
I didn't keep my food up like $8.
8,000?
A lot.
Wow.
A lot of different generations of dog owners too.
Yep. It
What a-
was puppies and when they passed away.
Oh,
And now, well, I have no choice.
Wow. We hate to see you go.
Old age is-
I don't know what we're gonna do now.
yeah, we do appreciate you so
Really?
much, and we hate to see you go.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn. Have a great rest of the life. Oh, crap. Oh, no kidding.
Okay, now, Ms. Dawes, we are much appreciated and we thank you so much. Thank you, guys. All right, we're gonna resume this meeting. Item number 6, ordinance. An ordinance 2026-011, amending the Town of Fort Gibson Code of Ordinances, providing for and establishing a 5-member board, Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, providing for severability and repeal, proving effective date and terms, and declaring, we're not gonna declare an emergency,
Well,
correct?
go ahead and read it.
And declaring an emergency.
Okay.
All right.
You have it there on your
Yeah.
screen in front of you. And Nicole, would you scroll down, please, to the bottom of section 3? I'm going to advise board members just to, if you do pass this, to just delete or amend taking out section 3. And so we'll just have section 1 and section 2. For purposes of this 30 days, it will go into effect in 30 days as opposed to tonight. But other than that, I don't think there's any amendments or changes that I know of that needs to be made.
We're just gonna,
I think that number 3 needs to be addressed a little more than what Larry addressed it. Uh, The emergency is, if the board passes this tonight, then it goes into effect immediately
With the emergency.
with the emergency. If the board passes it tonight and we don't include the emergency, it takes 30 days. You have to wait 30 days for it to go in effect. So the board's not trying to dupe anybody. They're not trying to run something through. It's just that, we've kind of, it's been kind of drug out getting this ordinance prepared anyway from the time that we did the Parks and Recreation Board and appointed the members. So we just felt like, why wait another 30 days when we can declare it an emergency and it goes in effect today? That's the effect of the emergency.
And if the board wants to, you can leave it in there, because we're talking about parks and recreation, which does affect the health and safety of our town members and children. So you do not have to delete section 3 if the board chooses so to keep it in, because it would qualify for that.
Any comments on that from the audience? Sure.
So for a couple years now, I've been appointed the tourism director here in the town of Fort Gibson. When we do activities at the parks or we run events, I'm the so far I've been the sole person with Amanda's guidance to implement them and run them and make sure that they're staffed with volunteers, with Nicole's help to get the 4-H club involved, and it's kind of been a one-man band, so to say. So I really want to address certain aspects of this ordinance, independent of section 3, that I believe require, or not require, that I would urge you to vote against this ordinance this evening. I believe that there's simple things to fix, so we shouldn't have to prolong this much more. But one of them is, as presented in this document, there's no seat for me as the tourism director or my direct superior, the deputy town administrator, on this board. So while I think it's a good thing to have more influence from our citizens, that's obviously the goal of municipal service. We want to serve, we want to have more involvement, but I believe it is equally inappropriate to have no voice on the board. So I believe that we should add something in there where either it's me or my direct supervisor, where we are allowed to have a voice, not the only voice, but a voice on the board. Two, if you look at item F under section 1, it expands out the zone where people are qualified to sit on the board to the residential zip code of 74434. We looked this up today. If done this way, this includes parts of OK, all of Norwood, half of Woodall, and the northernmost part of Braggs. I do not believe that this is appropriate to give people out that far outside of Fort Gibson say over what Fort Gibson does with its tax dollars and how we go about spending money to better our community. Three, they are correct. This would, if you remove section 3, this will be enacted 30 days from now. That's not going to stop us from meeting. These are Fort Gibson, the people that we've appointed are engaged and they're community people and they want to meet. We can have a meeting where we're just, we can go to Erica's, we can go to the coffee shop and we can talk about this kind of stuff independently in the 30 days it would take to make this. But maybe you were apprehensive, or maybe it was apprehension that made you say what you said, but I kind of agree with the sentiment is like, if we've removed 3, a lot of icky issues go away and it doesn't really change what we're gonna do. So if we can change those 3 items that I believe are an issue in this ordinance, then I think we're heading in a great direction as far as having a board, having more input from the public and being able to move forward with bigger and better projects.
Nick, I'm going to say something. You made a comment about just go ahead and meet.
Yes,
Like,
not meet as in we're meeting doing town business, but like a get together. Otherwise, we'd be in violation of the open records. Correct?
just to make sure you
Yes.
guys understand it has to be posted.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you.
Yeah, and Nick, could you describe icky situations on
So
number 3?
when looking up the standard by which you have to read these words, I don't believe that a prudent and responsible reading of health, safety, and protection of citizens qualifies in this matter. But that is a non-lawyer opinion. It's just a layperson's opinion, and there's 4,800 late people here in Fort Gibson, so it makes it easier to digest if we just remove that. But you don't have to.
We've
Any other
done
questions?
other emergencies and nobody has ever questioned an emergency, why we did the ordinance and all that and everything. And I'm not sure they all met the same requirement of the health and the safety and all that. Why is this just now coming up?
Because we're just now putting place a board. And it's been.
This is the first time where I've been invested in this, and it's more of a, if I didn't say anything, it would violate personal integrity with
Okay,
regards
okay.
to my
And let me-
interpretation of it.
Let me address another deal. The zip code you don't like?
Yes.
Do you live in town?
I work for the town of Fort Gibson,
Do
which
you
is a
live in
stakeholder.
town?
I do not, and if you would like
Then-
for it to
then
be
that-
amended, then that's
would
fine.
Then you're cutting yourself out of a board seat.
Once again, I'm currently cut out of a board seat, and if it needs to be
Well, you would be
Amanda,
cut out one with 74432.
correct. And if it needs to be Amanda on the board, then I understand the board's decision on that, but it doesn't change the issue that I've raised.
It does. It
It-
does change the issue.
It doesn't.
Sure it does. You're eliminated both ways.
I
And
don't
also
want
to
it
draw
both
your
ways.
territory here about 74434, does Braggs have a harps? Does OK have a harps? Does Woodall have a harps? Those people all shop in Fort Gibson. A lot of them do. They pay their tax dollars to Fort Gibson, our revenue, and you want to cut them out?
Yes. So your position is that people who are not citizens of the town of Fort Gibson should have a say in how we spend our tax dollars.
I'm saying if they spend money here, it creates a bigger pool for our board, more qualifications. In the past, the reason we don't have a board now is we couldn't get any volunteers to be on that board.
I fundamentally disagree with your framing about
You
the
can, and I
necessity of
disagree with yours.
74434.
Okay?
Okay.
I disagree with yours.
I understand.
Yes. And, and if we do 74434, we take that out, that eliminates Erica and it eliminates Mr. Lindley.
It's, if we wanted to put new language in, that's fine. It's
We
my,
don't need any new language.
ah,
I mean,
man.
it includes the two board members that we
I-
currently have.
I fundamentally reject that OK, Norwood, Woodall, and Bragg should have any say as to what Fort Gibson does with its
Well,
tax dollars.
you're naming towns that don't have anything to do with
With Fort
Fort
Gibson.
Gibson other than pay us tax dollars. And
Exactly.
I think somebody that pays a tax dollar, if they wanted to, which they're probably not, they should be
All right.
able to have a say.
Fundamentally, our role is to serve the people of the town of Fort Gibson. Not OK, not Woodall, not Norwood, not Braggs. The town of Fort Gibson.
Well, we have town city limits, but our town of Fort Gibson is bigger than the city limits.
Then
When
we
it comes to tax dollars and everything that goes on in Fort Gibson.
I am aware of how tax dollars are generated.
Especially use tax dollars, because people don't normally think about use tax. They think, well, what the heck, and we're over here in OK and we're buying something. We all of a sudden paid the town of Fort Gibson tax money.
Mhm.
We can't afford to cut those people out, I don't think.
Well, we're not cutting them out as far as their shopping goes. We're cutting them out of a 5-member board that decides how we spend our money.
Right.
Yeah, and they're not gonna want to be on the board anyway, Nick.
I think it's a great decision to
Yeah.
remove the language.
Oh, well,
The board decides how to.
that's
spend the
exactly
money.
right. And the board approves every board member, okay? That's what it says. So these people from Braggs, if the board doesn't want them, we don't put them on the board. That's our power to control that.
I guess I don't understand why we're fighting so hard over obviously poor language.
Well, I don't know what you're fighting over. I mean, you're the one bringing the complaint. We've written the ordinance the way we want to do it. You're the one bringing the
Who
complaint.
wrote the ordinance?
Town attorney did.
That's right.
That is not my understanding of who wrote it. That's not what we were
Well,
told.
you're both wrong.
Now, did he get some help from somebody?
Absolutely.
He wrote it.
Absolutely. It was.
You're gonna start picking on things you don't need to pick on, okay?
Threat
You-
received.
You need to sit down and quit picking at things you don't have to pick on.
Are you suggesting that there will be reprisals for me speaking
No,
out
I'm
tonight?
not suggesting anything. I'm suggesting you've had your speech. Let somebody else talk.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Nick.
Well, y'all probably aren't gonna like what I have to say either because I agree with Nick, but I will say that for Part B, where it lists the members, that it should have a town, somebody associated with the town, or even the town clerk, because I know that the town clerk comes to the meetings and does whatever her duties are. I'm not exactly sure what those are, but I know that she has things. And going along with that, I would recommend on Part D that we change that language to meet as needed. And the reason for that is instead of once a month is because we pay the town clerk to come to the meetings. If we don't have anything that we need to meet about that month, why would we waste $200 of our taxpayers' money to pay the town clerk to just say, okay, we have nothing to talk about? So I think that, over the course of 12 months, that's $2,400, which we're not going to not meet for 12 months, but that's just to get an idea. So I would recommend that it say meet as needed instead of once per month. And then as far as the zip code part goes, what do the other ordinances that we have for committees say for that? Where do their board members come from? Does anybody know?
I mean, we haven't reviewed it, but there's no law saying that it cannot be, that you have to be in the city limits.
No, I'm not saying that there's a law. I'm just saying if the other ordinances are people in city limits or people that own a business in city limits, I think that there's ways around this, just doing a blanket zip code and saying if you live in or you own a business in city limits, then you can be on the board. I think that widens it just a little bit than just saying you have to live in city limits. But I do see where Nick is coming from as far as if somebody from one of those areas, they're not invested in our town like we are. And I feel like it needs to be somebody from our town who loves our town and is willing to do and put in the work and volunteer for this board. And that is going to share the vision of our town. And that's not going to be somebody who resides in a different town. So I see where Nick is coming from on that. I also agree with the emergency. I'm not a lawyer, leave it or take it out. I don't, but I was really confused by that, where I didn't think that this board had anything to do really with the health, safety, or protection of the citizens of Fort Gibson. So I was more confused by that than anything else. Take it out, leave it, I don't care. But that was one of my questions that I had. So I think that that's all the questions I have for that one.
I got an idea. What about this? Kind of as an appeasement measure here, you got a 5-member board here. You could always have one member at large from anywhere else in our 744, but just one. That way, these other towns, if there's somebody that was really, we don't know out there in these other towns how much interest there is because we've never really had anything quite like this, in my opinion. And so I'm just saying you could have one of your members as an that could be outside the city limits and serve out there as just an at-large member, because there may be somebody in Braggs, Oklahoma that has a big interest in Fort Gibson.
Yeah.
So that's a
don't know.
possibility of not making everybody mad.
Yeah, yeah. I just think, if you live in our town, you're invested in our town, or you should be. We have a great thing here, and uh, I think that blanket 74434 just opens it up too far. Thank you, guys.
Now that I got this sheet in front of me, I noticed that it's been changed a little bit since the one I saw Friday last week. Larry has obviously found an ordinance that he's trying to amend that we can reference to. I know a little bit about ordinances, been on the committee now for 26 years, but to touch on what some of the things they said, some of that stuff I really do agree with, a lot of it. The item F for me is a big issue. All you guys are an award of our community, respectively. I think it should stay that way. We're in a modern age of lawsuits and what ifs and organizations that want to fight tooth and nail to get their agenda across. I can see this opening up a can of worms that we don't want. And we could have somebody outside our wards sitting on your committee. That's what we don't want to happen. That's what I see the problem with that one. The other thing is the wording of this, Larry. I think this shouldn't be a board. It should be a committee. The word board has power. This is a committee that makes recommendations to you guys, to the mayor, apparently. It should stay that way. That would be something I'd change. I don't know what y'all think, but it's pretty simple to me. I mean, it needs to be a committee, not a board. So I'd make some amendments to this before y'all approve it. Another 30 days ain't gonna hurt. I mean, we had a great Parks and Rec team before. Of course, they're all voluntary, which we know. Bud Huggins. Been a long time since we've had it. We need it. We totally need it. We have a lot of things in the works for our community that need an oversight committee. And I said committee. That's all I got to say. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Jeremy, before you sit down, aren't we on planning and zoning board?
Committee.
Really?
Planning and zoning committee. It's always been a committee.
Commission.
That's what our ordinance says.
Commission.
Committee.
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 It's a
committee.
It's a commission?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we do it at commission?
Sure.
Okay.
You bet. I just thought we were always called the planning and zoning board or the variance board.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's really semantics, but I
Yeah.
mean, if it makes.
You understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Board
we can
sounds
do it.
powerful.
We can amend it to do it, what do we want, committee or commission?
Whichever you think's That's your
Well, we
department.
should-
What's, I mean, any of those three are fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, we should match it up with
Make
the
it
planning and
consistent
zoning
with
and,
planning and
yeah,
zoning.
and variance commission and whatever.
So it's committee,
Commission on Planning and Zoning Board of Adjustments. is
commission. Committee,
So we have both.
uniform across the board.
The Board of Adjustments is a committee, and then Planning and Zoning is a commission. This is our town.
Let's do commission then.
That's, I mean,
That's
that's fine.
understood.
And we can do that by amendment, oral amendment. We
Yeah.
do not have to rewrite it.
Okay, sure.
Just check on the 74434 deal. I still think our wards are better.
We called it a board because we were having trouble finding anybody. So it sounded a little better to call it a board than a committee, because we were having a lot of trouble with these boards. We've always had. Just a problem.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Jeremy. I don't feel like the water's muddy enough yet.
To start a little more. Just a couple of things. I just will have some observations on this, really. We definitely need this committee. Um, and I do think it probably should be a committee. Reading other towns' ordinances and things, it seems like a board usually has some authority beyond just recommendations to the primary board. Now, with the way we handle our planning and zoning commission, we don't really do that. Ours are recommendations only. And so that's a little different, but I feel like it would be better as worded as a committee. As far as the zip code, I think one of the things we maybe are partly missing here is, number one, we got to remember that this board gets to appoint who's going to be on that.
That's right.
So all it's doing is opening the door a little wider for who you might get, because with this, if we do it just city limits, if you live in Spurlock, you're out. If you live in Dawson Creek or Dawson Ridge, you're out. If you live in the one down here that Gil McLaughlin's doing, you're out. All those are outside the city limits. Well, those are people who's I mean, I think they would say they're from Fort Gibson, you know. So I just I don't see us appointing somebody from the Braggs River Bottoms to this board, or from over at OK. Uh, you know, so anyways, that's my opinion on the zip code thing. I personally would leave the zip code and let that be at the board's discretion. The emergency, one thing I just wanted to kind of people to understand that maybe don't know is it's probably abused, honestly, everywhere, not just in Fort Gibson, but it's a very common practice to declare an emergency for an ordinance to go into effect immediately. So there's not any, I just basically kind of wanted to say, to me, there's no cover up there. I've seen that since my college days. That's just common practice. They do it all the time. And so that's all it really is. It's in some places it requires, not only does it get you out of the 30 days, it gets you out of having to do some publications that nobody's going to read anyway. I don't think that it has effect here. I think it's just the 30 days here. But anyway, that's my thing on the whole thing. Other than that, we need this committee. Highly recommend you for pushing forward.
Fine. Fine, you're okay.
If we did a compromise, so think about a compromise of 744 to school district. You're eligible to go to school in this town. I mean, just something to think about.
That's gonna take a lot of research. Okay, or
Probably the reason, well, the school district goes nearly to OK, it goes nearly to Woodall, goes nearly to Braggs. So, I mean, that, yeah.
Nicole, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
As far as, and I'm kind of with the young lady that said something about where it specifically says meet at least one meeting per month. Do the other committees or commissions, whatever you want to call them, do they have that same stipulation in their ordinances where they must meet once a month? Well, that is one thing I have an issue with.
These people are volunteering their time. Why are we requiring them to meet once a month? There's no reason to meet once a month. All the other boards, all the other committees get called up when there's a need, correct? So I would be okay to make it to where it's just as needed, to call it as needed,
And
not
you can,
once a month.
you can
do
amend that.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I'm
Anything on
I'm
here
just
can be
making my
amended.
point, yeah.
This is the first time that it's come before the board, so you could make a motion to pass this this ordinance with the amendment of that section.
And the
uh,
wording, and the wording of commission.
And the wording of commission, and whether or not you want to keep three or not. Three, to me, three's not, uh, it's inconsequential. I mean, I don't know who it's gonna hurt if it goes into effect tonight. That's my question.
On the board members, it says that there will be one for a term of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. How is that determined? Who is in which spot for however many years?
Well, what we
Since we
will
already
do,
have
we have,
a group of
you're one of the
people.
members, right?
Right.
We'll get the 5 members together and we'll say who wants to be the one that for the first year
Okay.
and by agreement,
Okay.
that's the way we will start.
Okay.
So it's really simplistic.
So after their term is finished and they're reappointed to another one, after their first term expires, they're reported, then they automatically go to a 3-year term.
That's correct.
Did you get that, Eric?
So they can be, so like, if, let's say I was on 1 year term, I can be reappointed.
Yeah.
And it would go to a
And it would be a
Yes, that's
3-year
correct.
term.
It just starts this way, so you don't turn over your board.
Right.
And I get that. I get that. I just didn't know if once you completed a term, if you were done, if they had to get
No.
somebody new in there.
No.
Anybody else have any other opinions or thoughts?
I'm not understanding the 74434. And what are we defining as a resident? Why are we mentioning Braggs, Norwood, and all the other areas?
So if you drive like towards Talbot, over 8 miles, that's considered Fort Gibson still. You can drive to okay over the dam and go like 5 miles in towards the still Fort Gibson. You can Bottoms, go past the cemetery, and that's Fort Gibson. You can drive up. I don't know what the point is on Bragg's Mountain, but there's a point. I don't know inside.
Okay, that has to do with post office. Anybody with a Fort Gibson address is a Fort Gibson resident.
Yes.
Correct? So just because there are multiple counties in our delivery area, are we secluding these people that are on the outskirts because they don't belong? Taxpayers, or I'm not understanding.
They're all of the above. They're all of the above, actually. I lived at Ranger Creek for a long time, and my kids, when they graduated Norwood, went to Fort Gibson School. We always had a Fort Gibson address. So we felt like we lived in Fort Gibson. People said, I didn't know you lived in Fort Gibson. I said, well, I live 8 miles away. So that's what we're trying to do is include, because we paid plenty of tax money to Fort Gibson. We shopped here, we did everything here, and we felt we're trying to make those people feel like we're just not kicking them out because we just do city limits, and we're really cutting ourselves short.
I don't think that this is the Parks and Recreation is just a city limits thing to me. To me, it should encompass the town of Ferguson because we are the people that will benefit from from the activities or the whatever we do. So, I mean, if there's a reason and it's valid, I'd like to be able to understand why we would exclude somebody that has a Fort Gibson address.
We're on the same page.
Okay.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it opened up for like even our wards. Like I would love to see our wards be the 7443 instead of just what they section in the municipal boundaries of the town. I think that would be a great idea.
Well,
Like we put it all up to everybody.
so
That's what we think, but you've got some opposition to that back here that want to rule out anybody in a 74434 zip code.
I don't think it was opposition, Steve. I think it was a question.
No, it was opposition. It was a question.
But the questioning.
But it was opposition.
The questions that kept coming were, aren't all the other boards required to live within the municipal boundaries?
Don't think so.
Yes, that's my argument.
Oh, really? So we have a person that sits on the variance committee that does not live in the town of Fort Gibson. Justin Young. Out here on Ben's Road, way out there.
He was on before I was here, so I don't. Well, I don't know. I was just here.
I just want to clarify, that's my, if you're not a business owner or of our community, it shouldn't happen.
Well, what's a business owner got to do with it, Jeremy? If you don't live in, if you don't live in the ward, well, I could have a PO box address in town.
No, it has to be a physical.
I mean, you know, I don't know. I'm kind of like Marcy. If you got a 74434 zip code, then you're considered Fort Gibson. You know, and it gives us a bigger pool of people to pull from for the board. Well, yeah, we're changing that. We're changing that. Yeah. 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 We're. Pick committee.
Yeah, do second committee. Oh, I'm sorry. Committee. We don't have to accept whatever
The board.
Pursuant to this ordinance, the
all
board.
you guys nominate who you think would be good.
Right. And that has to be approved by the board, the unanimous vote of the board.
So does the committee have any say?
They can have some recommendation.
Recommend.
Sure. Couldn't they?
I mean, anybody could recommend, a citizen could recommend.
Sure. Right. Right. But you as a citizen or you as a committee member could say, hey, Mike, so-and-so would really like to serve on this park and rec. And then it would be up to Mike to bring it before the board and vote on it. That kind of deal. I mean, to me, that is a safeguard of the 74434. I mean, the board has the ultimate approval. If somebody from Northern Brags wants to get on and we don't like them and we don't care for them and they're troublemakers or whatever, then the board doesn't have to approve them. It's not like if you live in 74434, you're automatically can be approved to be a member of the committee of Parks and Recreation.
And I'm pretty sure if they don't work out, the board can remove them. I'd have to ask Larry about that. I'm pretty sure we have the power to do that.
Well, there were only, let me defend my words or my actions. He accused Larry, he had other information that Larry did not write that ordinance. And that's what,
He probably saw it when I saw Fred.
and that's what I said.
I knew Larry didn't look at when I saw Fred. I know that.
So who puts the,
Well, that's where I saw.
Yeah.
But it's not what we got in our pack.
Yeah, we did not see that in our, we did not see that in our packet. That never came before us. And what's really, and I can ask you the question, where did you get that? Okay, so you got it from Horace. Okay, okay. And
That's right. Horace and I met, we worked on it together. I tweaked it, I changed things, and then the board got the final product of it.
But no employee of the town should be accusing the town attorney of doing wrong or not doing what he says he did or whatever. That's the reason I stepped in and asked Nick to sit down. Okay. No. Yeah. Well, but this board has a lot of this board has a lot of forgiveness. We forgive. Yeah, we forgive. But Jeremy, that did not need to come from Nick from that microphone. Okay. I understand. I,
Posted on social media. It's not
Saying that.
How do you keep it honest? Somebody would. If he didn't, somebody.
Nick.
It doesn't help that Forrest told us.
Yeah, that's bad.
Well,
Well, he probably did.
that would be like you writing something and giving it to Larry and Larry going over to proving it or changing it or whatever.
I categorically disagree that I was saying that Larry did anything improper. It's just when I'm told by a person that says, hey, I wrote this, I can take my word and not call a liar.
Did he tell you that he came to my office and we sat down?
None of that was said.
Okay, so see, sometimes.
That's what I'm saying is I'm not questioning your honor. It's just one of those, I was told this, and so I asked the question, who wrote this?
It looked like you were questioning his honor.
Well, that's not what happened.
I got that. That's the reason I kind of pepped up and.
There's serious implications with regard to accusing an attorney of impropriety. That's not what I was doing.
I think we got a bit sense. Okay,
Do we have any motions?
well, wait a minute. Is there any further discussion from the audience? Nobody? Okay, we need a motion. Anybody willing to make a motion?
I'd say he did it. Let's just table it and think about exactly what we're charging. We haven't decided what the 74434 is gonna be. I don't think we're gonna get anywhere tonight with making, or we can make amendments, I guess.
Well, that's something to think about because if we don't make amendments tonight, we could still table it or pass it. But if you don't discuss it now, the next time we come back to this meeting,
It's gonna be the
you're not
same
gonna
thing.
have an ordinance to vote on. Because then you're gonna have to make the amendments.
Well,
So the amendments that I've written down that everybody has suggested so far, there was a suggestion to remove section 3. So that would be the first item that was requested to be amended. Then there was the suggestion to change the name to a committee instead of a board.
is that what
Committee
we
or
want to
commission?
do?
That's what I'm saying, Mr. Committee, that's what I wrote. The other suggestion that was made was to meet as needed. And then I believe, and then it was just, there's the debating on the 7. I think it's great, but my question is like, how do we streamline, because I did not know what you just told me, how do we streamline all of our boards to the same standard?
Well, they're not
So
boards, they're committees, aren't they?
How do we streamline all of our boards, committees, and commissions within the town of Fort Gibson 74434? How do we align those? I mean, the school board changed their boards. Do we want to look? Can we do something like that where if you live within the zip code of 74434,
I,
you are eligible to be a board of trustee member. You're eligible to be on the planning and zoning. You're eligible for board of adjustment, and you're eligible for the parks and rec. I don't know.
Statutes
most of those
control-
boards-
Yeah,
The statutes
statutes
can-
control who can be a town trustee.
Okay.
okay,
That
so,
answers
so,
that one.
but can you check and see on the variance committee and the planning and zoning committee, if there's anything written in there, who can be on that? Yeah, I mean, it
What
does,
did our cemetery board decide? That was another one.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, cemetery committee, not board. But I mean, find out if there's anything in our ordinances on those committees that who can serve. I mean, see if it says you gotta live in the town, you gotta be within the city limits, or whatever it says. I don't know that we know that right now.
Nicole, I agree with you. I think all these committees, commissions, they need to be consistent. They all need to be worded the same as far as who can be on it, who can't be on it. You know, if it, whatever's there. I think it needs, they all need to be consistent.
Yeah, I think it would help if a situation like this were to arise.
The difference I see in these different boards we're gonna change or thinking about changing is the tourism board is wide ranging. It goes way out there.
It
The
goes,
Board of
it goes
Adjustment,
everywhere.
the
It goes
Board of
everywhere.
Adjustment's never gonna leave the city limits of Fort Gibson. That's the difference. So these other boards
And
don't
neither is
qualify.
planning and zoning.
Right,
It's not
same
gonna,
thing.
yeah, that's a good point.
Never gonna be that way.
Because you can't make changes on the town.
Yeah, well, so's variance.
Yeah.
But Bob just brought up a good point. I mean, you know, our recs and parks and, I mean, you know, we're probably not gonna do a park outside the city limits, but rec and tourism, I mean, that takes in a whole different area.
Hopefully pull people from Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Dallas, all over the place. So tourism is much bigger than the rest of these boards as far as a physical description of what they cover. Well, the planning and zoning is never gonna do anything outside the city limits,
No.
right? Ever, never. So that's what I'm saying.
Maybe
The
that-
difference is
maybe
that
that's
the
the
tourism board goes every,
Okay, so can we do the amendments, these three amendments, remove section 3 if needed? I mean, we gotta vote on it, but change it to committee or commission, and then as needed.
That's,
Three, right?
is that the three? That,
That's what three that she just said, I think.
Committee and then as.
Section 3.
Yeah, remove section 3 or change it to committee and then change the language, meetings as needed.
okay, I want to ask Eric and Nick, any different viewpoint now that you've listened to the discussion that you wouldn't be against the 74434? Nick?
And you guys make the decision anyway, that you fundamentally about.
Well, we can agree to disagree.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So like, it's excellent. Paper maps and drawing. And and that's how I feel.
I wouldn't either.
And if the board disagrees, I think there's cleaner language if you want to include places like Spurlock, places that are Fort Gibson, but not it's Fort Gibson. I think we can make better language as opposed to just, hey, we got this zip code, let's just use it. And that's all I'm finding is make it to where we have a specific set of people who are most invested in our community, like Spurlock's not part of Fort Gibson, but they absolutely are. Having language that encompasses them, but then doesn't just say, all right, well, we're doing the whole zip code. That's all I'm really asking.
But that
We
goes
could
back,
draw-
that
go
goes
ahead.
back to the board approving that person to be on the board. I mean, if it's, I would hope that 5 of us would have enough common sense not to vote someone in that we didn't think was for the town.
Add that line, that's what she just said.
Well, it's gotta be, it's in there approved by the board.
Yeah, I know. Make it more specific somehow.
You could do this, Jeremy, you could do this, you could take and have the greater Fort Gibson area and just draw some new lines outside the city limits, like Greater Muskogee. Okay, you go out into the county out there and you just start drawing lines, Steve, and say, how's this look? And I'd say, I don't know, that's okay. You could make it bigger. You could bring in Spurlock and all those places that aren't in the city limits. You could go out to 8 Mile. Nicole says 8 Miles Fort Gibson. I believe it. Don't you?
Well, yeah, you could do that.
You could do that.
But I don't see any reason why
I don't either.
it shouldn't be 74434 and us approving.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah, yeah, check, yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And one neighborhood wants to know why they were left out.
Exactly. Yeah.
The person across the road is gonna be mad because
Yeah.
they didn't get grouped in. I don't see anything wrong with the 74434. Everyone's welcome to their opinion, and I'm not arguing, but I would hope that our board can agree on a good person. not just-
Well, here's what my intentions are, okay? And the board can correct me. Jeremy, I think you're right. It ought to say committee. I'm going to change it to committee. I think it's semantics. I don't think either one of them would hurt for being consistent. We're gonna put committee in there. I'm going to tell the board, and if you want me to do it, I will put it back in there. I'm going to remove section 3 as far as emergency. Then I'm going to put in there, Erica, meet as needed. I think, isn't that the planning and zoning commission, don't they meet as needed?
So I learned today that no, that's how we operate, that's something that's gonna need to be amended in.
Because they're supposed to meet once a month, right? Once a month.
So that
Yeah.
needs to be.
Modify what needs to be modified, maybe on the next agenda.
But let me,
If it needs to be done.
since we can discuss this, since it's on the agenda, what do you think about Erica's suggestion, meet as needed? Regardless of what's on the other books, on this new thing, what's the board's viewpoint as meet as
I
needed?
agree with you 100%. If they don't have
I do
anything
too,
to
yeah.
discuss, there's no reason for them to meet.
Yeah, they
Absolutely.
don't need to
Just
meet,
as
why meet?
needed.
Okay, and something was brought up by Erica that I didn't realize, and maybe I should have. But I'm assuming the $200 is paid to Nicole for attending the meeting? Okay, so if we were to leave one board meeting a month, I mean, one committee meeting a month, couldn't the committee appoint somebody to take minutes and give them to Nicole where she wouldn't have to come?
So they can, but she has who's gonna type it at that point, who's gonna record it on the phone and put it on the website, who's gonna do all the.
So there's still work that she's gonna have to do that she wouldn't be getting paid for. So it needs to say in there, I think, and I was gonna say, because it was listed as things that it was. And I do think it needs to say those 5 members plus Nick, plus Nicole on there because.
Positions, not names.
Yes, that's the position, sorry. And, and tourism advisor, because I think as committee, we need to have officials listed on it so that they can attend the meetings.
Or the town administrator.
Or who, yeah, I mean, or just somebody. He's like, that's the way to go.
But they could attend anyway.
I mean,
I mean, Nick could be there anyway.
okay, I just didn't know legally if they had to be listed as part of the committee.
No, and whoever did that would need to be a non-voting member because you'd have 6 votes instead of 5, an
Okay.
odd number.
Okay,
But
right,
that's just a thought.
yeah.
Okay, but coming back to Nick's deal that he talked about of Nick, were you saying you would like to vote on that committee or?
No, no, no,
Oh,
no,
okay,
no, no, no.
okay,
It's somebody's going to have to be there from the town to
Okay,
represent the town's
okay,
interests
okay,
at
that's
every meeting.
okay.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
okay,
can do that too.
yeah, yeah, okay, that's good.
It's not.
Nick, what do you refer to yourself as far as I know the tourism
So
director?
on my name tag, they will, IT, and tourism director.
Tourism director, yeah. Okay, now that, unless there's someone in the audience that differs, that takes care of everything except the 74434. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that on there just the way it is. The next time we meet, all these changes will be made, and there is no prohibition against if somebody comes up with something before then, if somebody comes up with something that night, there's no prohibition in making a motion to approve this ordinance subject to the amendment of that 74434. It'll either be left like it is and passed, or it will be amended and passed. So I'm telling you what I'm doing ahead of time unless y'all have some different direction for me. I'm gonna put Nick's name on it. I'm gonna put committee. I'm gonna remove section 3. We're gonna put meet as needed. And then the 74434 will give everybody 2 weeks to think about this.
I think that's good.
Nick and Nicole or somebody that
Well,
also.
Nicole's a
that-
given.
Nicole's a given.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
you're removing section 3, Kyle, that
I'm
right?
gonna remove section 3 on this
All right.
particular ordinance.
Okay, so why can't a motion be made to approve the ordinance with those amendments?
You could do it tonight. You sure could.
I'll make a motion on number 6 that we approve the ordinance with the stated amendments as presented.
I'll second,
And I'll go ahead.
I'll second that.
You're seconding it,
Yep.
and just for the record, the stated amendments will be, Nick Schaefer, the tourism director, will be involved in this. He will not be a voting member, but he will be involved in this board. It will, this committee, it will be referred to
You want to get
as
around
a
that?
committee and not a board. Section 3 is being amended tonight to remove it. And we're also modifying the meet once a month to meet as needed. Other than that, everything stays the same. That's the amendments to Steve's motion and to Bob's second.
Let it be noted for the record.
Can you repeat all that?
Are you serious?
No, hey,
You're not serious.
I got it. I can do it.
Let it be noted for the record that Stephen made a motion to approve item number 6, the ordinance 2026-011, with the amendments listed by the town attorney, Larry Moore. That was seconded by Bob. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Nancy Reinhardt.
Aye.
Bob Nick,
Aye.
Jerry Harris. Steve
Aye.
Mike Sharp.
Aye. Item number 7, administrators report.
Okay. My report will not be near as exciting as that was. So Couple things, we have the EMS groundbreaking coming up, and I've talked to Mike about this, but I haven't announced. We're getting close. We're thinking about the June 9th at 1:30. We need to firm up one or two more, but we're getting close to nailing that down. Close enough that I can say it out loud. The fallback date will be the 11th. That's June 9th at 1:30. And we'll get that posted. As far as the EMS building, Nathan and I have talked about it, and we're on schedule with our budget. Really, really close. Really don't have to say anything other than that. We're really close. We're going to meet with County Commissioner Kendo just to firm up some information about the county supplying the gravel around the outside and some stuff like that. But we're really close and it's on schedule. And obviously, for anyone who's been out there, they have broken ground. We're working on the actual ceremony for it. The board asked me to get some quotes on the soccer field. I've met with two people. They've looked at it with me and they will be sending quotes. I've asked for three, but haven't heard back when we're going to meet out there and talk about it. So that is in process too.
Is that it, Jeff?
I think that's it.
All right, good job. Thank you. Item number 8, any new business? Item number 9, remarks from governing officials. Item number 10, is there a motion to adjourn? Let it be noted for the record, Nancy made the motion to adjourn at 7:26. Bob seconded that motion. All in favor, raise your hands. Let it be noted for the record, everybody has raised their hands. This meeting is now adjourned. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Utilities Authority Board of Trustees of the Town of Fort Gibson, Tuesday, May 26th, 2026, at 6:00 PM. Excuse me, apologize, I read off the paper. At 7:23 PM. Roll call, please.
Bob Boatman.
Here.
Jerry Harris. Steve Lincoln.
Here.
Mike Sharp.
Here. Item number 1, visitors' remarks or comments. Seeing none, item number 2, consent agenda.
I'll make a motion, we approve that consent agenda as presented.
Let it be noted for the record, that Bob made the motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Jerry seconded that motion. Roll call, please.
Nancy Reinhardt. Bob Boatman.
Aye.
Jerry Harris. Steve Lincoln.
Aye.
Mike Sharp.
Aye. Item number 3, items of business for discussion, decision, and/or take action. Item A, discussion, decision, and/or take action regarding items removed from the consent agenda. There were none. Item B, discussion, decision, and/or take action regarding the longevity pay policy. This is essentially the same as it was for town.
This is just duplicating
It would
everything
be
that
this
was all-
Okay,
same exact wording we changed.
I'll make a motion, we approve 3A as presented.
I'll second that.
Let it be noted for record, Stephen made the motion to approve 3B as presented, and Bob seconded that motion. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Nancy Reinhardt. Bob Boatman.
Aye.
Jerry Harris. Steve Lincoln.
Stephen. Aye.
Mike Sharp.
Aye. Lord. Item number C. Item number C, discussion, decision, and/or take action regarding the proposed fiscal year 2027 budget.
I'll make a motion, we pass that 3C as presented.
Let it be noted for the record, Bob made the motion to approve 3C as presented. Jerry seconded that motion. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Nancy Reinhardt. Bob Boatman.
Aye.
Jerry Harris. Steve Lincoln.
Aye.
Mike Sharp.
Aye. Item number, excuse me, we're on number 4, administrative report.
I don't have anything to report this time.
No? Okay.
I want to say reminder that Tony Henry's out of town this week, so if you need anything, contact Sean.
Item 5, new business. Item 6, from governing body. Officials? None? Item number 7, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Let it be noted for the record, Nancy made the motion to adjourn at 7:25. Bob seconded that motion. All in favor, raise your hands. Let it be noted for the record, everybody has raised their hands. This meeting is now adjourned.
So just get their signatures on this.
Yes, uh-huh. And then
Okay, so
I'm gonna ask Nicole about it. 'Cause
Yeah.
she's already done it, but
Well,
on this here, you already checked.